Are you paying attention, everybody? This podcast was created to proliferate common sense takes regarding politics, religion, healthcare, current events, conspiracies, and whatever other topics you've been told to never mention at the dinner table. The purpose? To enlighten our fellow citizens of the propaganda being pushed in this polarizing time period in the never-ending battle for your soul. This podcast is not aligned with any sect, denomination, politics, organizations, or institution. We do wish to engage in every controversy under the sun without endorsements or oppositions to any causes. We are the four discoursmen: TJ, Greg Hugh, Pastor Benny, and me. Artie, the one-man party. Thanks for your time, energy, and of course, attention.
So what else is on your gripe list, Greg? It's your time because you don't have a lot, so I'll let you get it off. You know,
dude,
it's therapeutic for me to vent too. So
yeah. No, I appreciate it. I mean, I find this a borderline IQ test. That if you hate Thomas Massey as much as Trump does, there's something wrong with him. There's no way the most MAGA person on the planet is Thomas Massey, and Trump is trying to find someone to run against him. It boggles my mind. Fucking Trump.
okay, great. The Massey, I'm in on. You want to talk about the Massey relationship and stuff? Then, TJ, you want to add on to that, or John? Because this is something I like to talk about, the Massey thing. So maybe Hewlin's obviously in tunnel vision, right? He's only looking at it from one point of view. So I'd like to expand that. Totally.
Well, you got Thomas Massey, which is his own man, and you always talk about, you be your own person kind of thing. And then all of a sudden when it comes to, sticking up for what you believe in, if it's against Republican lines, then all of a sudden this guy's a loser, and he's a turncoat in your eyes.
Wait, my eyes are Trump's eyes. So what you don't need to speak for me, TJ. Okay, I'll put it out there on this forum what I think. Okay, sending a text to someone shitting on Massey doesn't mean I endorse it, but I obviously wanted to see your reaction to it. So, John, do you know about Massey? Do you want to bring anything in on it?
No, I don't know much about. No, I don't know much about Massey.
He's a libertarian. So basically, the main reason. Well, let's just break it out for people who listen or will listen, and so we have on the thing. All these bills, the big beautiful bill, like you have 200, you need 220 Republicans, shall we say, or whatever the number is. Massey's the one or two Republicans who always votes against the big beautiful bill. He was actually he's a Republican, but he's always voting against Trump's. Like we have that fine, razor thin thing. He's always against or. TJ and Hewlin will say he's not voting with the Democrats or agree with them, but he's voting against Trump's agenda because of something he don't like. That fly in the ointment I was saying about TJ, that's Massey. If he doesn't like Trump's one little thing,
I'll put the name Thomas.
No. But if Trump's agenda is anti-conservative, then he is voting with the conservative principles.
Okay. All right. If you have. Now, I just want John to have an understanding that, so maybe it would be like, oh, that's the guy, like Rand Paul. He's a Rand Paul in the House.
Okay.
Right. Rand Paul's always a senator voting against, because he's like Elon. He wants more cuts. He wants more whatever Trump's given as far as anything with the deficit. He's what they call a fiscal hawk. one of those guys. It's always something about it that he don't like, so he wants to vote against his own party. Do you understand now, John? Where we're getting with the Massey? You know what I'm talking about? Like the one or two Democrats who we might need, Republicans we might need to get this across, because obviously the Democrats do not break ranks. Massey's been breaking ranks, the whole time since Trump is, and that's why Trump gets pissed off at him. You understand? He don't see the big, according to Trump, you don't see the big picture of what they're trying to do. He's looking at the one or two things or whatever, maybe big to conservatism or whatever. But everybody else is on the team but Massey. But Greg and TJ will argue he's sticking to his guns. Okay, I mean, can we get that out? Just the facts before we start breaking it down and I go to work. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I totally agree that Massey is not a blind loyalist to his party.
Well, all right, that's your characterization. But the ultimately thing is, he's not voting with the party.
Yes, he votes on his principles, even if it, he votes on his principles, even if it counters the party vote.
Yeah, he doesn't vote on the party line.
All right, so now let me go. John, do you have anything you want to say about that yet? Oh no,
no,
you caught up?
Nothing yet. Maybe he got his identity as the guy who stands on, because that's how the people want to see him. Those who voted him in.
This is exactly right, John. Absolutely true.
That's what Greg and TJ would say. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So let me go to you, Greg, real quick. Okay, let me just get this out. So, who would you say is more principled or sticks to their guns, you or Thomas Massey?
I don't really know how that I can answer that question.
Well, who you vote for him? I mean, let's just. Well, you don't worry where I'm going with it. Just answer this. I'm trying to make it a simple question. Do you think you're saying? Mm-hmm. Are you saying Thomas Massey's principles is more than yours?
No, I didn't say that.
I wouldn't put Trump's or anyone's morals over my own. Okay, so what can we at least get a common ground? Because I want to get that you very moral. If you would do the same thing probably, right? You said what Massey's doing or whatever. Maybe, who knows? You don't have all the information he does. But
I would hope.
You're going to stick to your guns.
That I would be strong enough to stick to my guns. I would hope.
Okay, good. Given all the information, we don't have all the information that Massey has or anything, but we have enough. I mean, this is totally. It's not like this is something you or TJ are just like blind faith. You agree with whatever Massey's doing. Fine. So here's how I look at it. When it came down to, because this is stuff you've told me. I don't know if you said it on the last podcast, but I said a lot of good things. If people want to listen to it previously, it's a good thing when we post it. But that on November 5th of 2024, who did you vote for president?
Unfortunately, I voted for Trump.
Well, that's. I mean, all right, fine. Okay, fine. Unfortunately, but you told me, I don't know if it was on the podcast, that you normally write in Ron Paul.
Yeah.
Right, but why did now? Do you now explain why did you not vote for Ron Paul?
Because I was terrified of Kamala Harris.
Okay, all right. That's a moral thing. I think you did the right thing. There's nothing to be ashamed of that, right? Even though you say unfortunately, maybe looking back in hindsight.
There is. There's a lot of shame. There's a lot of shame there.
But was it morally right to do?
Well, I don't know if it was morally right to do.
Well, who knows then? If you don't know your own actions, then you're unstable. No, if you don't know your own actions.
In hindsight, if you were to vote again,
I'll tell you right now that everyone listening.
Vote again.
In hindsight, if I were to vote again, I'd write in Ron Paul.
All right, and I would still vote Harambe so I can.
But then again, that's knowing that Trump's going to win, though. But right, Greg. But that's with the knowledge Trump's going to win.
Yeah, I still think Trump is not as probably bad as Kamala would have been. Even right now.
All right, so I don't know how much time you got left, but here's my point. If you had the moral vindication, understand the stakes. That, okay, it might not be everything I want in Trump, but the alternative is worse. you cast the vote for Trump. When you know that these bills and stuff your vote could come down to Kamala, Democrats or not, Massey needs to do exactly what you did on election day, and anybody who's a patriot would do what you did on election day, who really looks at the big picture, is go with the party for now. You got to sometimes take a punch or two to land later. Okay, this is only 6 months in a 4-year term, and then if we keep up the momentum, we can get Vance for another 8 years. Massey needs to go exactly what you did, because you're a man of morality and you are a man of principle. But you, even though it might not have been exactly what you wanted to do, you did it, and that's my point. Exactly what you said you did. I think Massey, who I don't know Massey from a hole in the wall compared to I know you, he's not as moral as you, in my opinion, and that's what bothers me. Even you. Wrights and Ron Paul voted for Trump and his agenda because of the stakes at high. This isn't like Coke Pepsi right now. It is, negative and positive. These are two polar opposite parties right now. And you can't stay in the middle at this point. You got to pick a side.
Yeah, I mean, I don't agree with that at all.
Well, November 5th, your actions said otherwise.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's a productive conversation to pin me on my vote. I mean,
no, I'm giving an example. What better way to do it? I'm giving you an example. Why it bothers me.
I think what Massey would tell you is this.
I don't know what Massey. You can't speak for Massey. Let's worry about what you guys
I think what Massey would tell you is that for years the Congress has been kicking these problems to the next time down the road, and once again we just kicked it the next time down the road. It's adding $4 trillion to the debt, and Massey,
we don't know that yet. We don't know
Massey,
what it's going to add
Paul,
yet.
And these other very conservative fiscal people are very concerned about what that's going to do to our economy and what it's going to do to the dollar. And Trump is, unfortunately, as he has admitted, doesn't read, doesn't understand a lot of things, doesn't understand what the U.S. economy is going to look like when our dollar completely fucking disintegrates.
We don't know any of that. That's all hyperbole. You don't know that. All I know is the Bill's got tax cuts, and we'll see what happens with the growth of the market. The guy's only been president for 6 months this term. Give him a little time.
Give him time for what?
We still got another 3.5 months, 3.5 years.
Okay.
I got
nothing but time to give him at this point. He's fucking president. I can't take him out of there, but he's certainly not encouraging. He's not encouraging me. I'll tell you that much.
Well, you asked me because I'm backpedaling on the text. I wanted to be on live air with you. Basically, I expect Massey to do what you did on November 5th. What's more than that? You're my guy, Hewlin. You're my libertarian. I'll even call it correctly, libertarian. And you did exactly what you're supposed to do. Now, TJ, do you not? Did you vote for Ron Paul?
Hold on, Artie. I don't have constituents. Artie, I don't have constituents. I vote for a single person. I vote for me. Massey has constituents, and the people who have elected him, elect him because he stands up to this shit.
No, I don't agree.
Okay.
We'll see if he gets primaried. If he loses his seat to another Republican, then that theory's wrong. We'll find out.
Okay.
That's your opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah,
that's your opinion. Okay, a lot of people aren't happy with Massey. I want to get I done with him. Not only am I tired with him, I used to think libertarians were pretty, maybe there is something there to this guy. I respect you. I respect TJ. Maybe there's something there. But if that's how the party's going to be, I wouldn't trust them as far as I can throw. To me, they're no different than the socialist Hamas guy in the left. That's all you guys are to me now. If you can't pitch in, I don't know, TJ would understand probably, and whatever. If you play sports, if you're on a team, a football team, and all you're on the team for is your stats, and you're not doing what the team's doing, if you're running a different play, like you see something and you're like maybe Antonio Brown runs a pattern because he knows he's going to be wide open, but it's not what's called. The play's not called. Well, you can't trust someone like that. That's how I look at it. I'm sorry. You're not a team guy. This is not.
I
It's
mean,
not. I understand if there was a lot of votes, the wiggle room and stuff like that, you know. But if
I think
everybody but you is the guy voting against every time, come on. What's the common denominator?
I think George Washington is rolling over in his grave with you talking about political parties like they're football teams. These aren't teams. We're not in a league playing each other. These are fucking
Name me one
politicians who are
Democrat
supposed to.
who tell it to the Democrats. I agree with what you're saying, but this is not. This is the game at hand right now. Okay, this
Yeah.
is in 1776. Look at the Democrats. There's no wiggle room there.
The
I agree
Democrats
with
are a
everything you're
bankrupt
saying, but
party.
that's
They've
not the
been
opponent.
bankrupt for years.
Right,
And
for
why?
years. And Massey's been on Massey's watch, so now all of a sudden he wants to try to put his stand. If he would have done it on the Biden, we cheer him.
Stop.
Look, I respect Gates. Gates got a bunch of people as a leader, as I've said to you, as a leader to get rid of the McCarthy guy. Massey, do something like that, then I respect him. Don't be just the one lone wolf, though. I mean, come on.
Massey is the wrong
The
guy
game's
for
old.
MAGA to go to war with.
We'll see. So you've been quiet, TJ. What do you got on that? You don't agree with my example? Hewlin,
All right. So,
actions
yeah, I was
over
letting you
words.
guys talk. I felt like Hewling had to rebut what you were saying first, but then you were about to ask me a
He was
question.
struggling big time. You couldn't throw him a line. Help the guy out. His own actions say everything else. He has no credibility after his own actions on election day, which I agree with and applaud him for.
See, this is your
All
typical
I'm
MAGA
asking
guy.
Massey to do is what he did. That's
Your
it.
typical MAGA guy who's trying to make me feel like shit for voting the way I voted back then because I disagree
love
with
you
him
for it.
now.
I
This is so
applaud
Trumpian
you
of
for it. I love you for it, Greg.